Hi everyone, it's Michelle Lightwork here, and I'm super duper excited. I like to say I have a lot of puppy energy around me at the moment because in the last 3 days, a lot has changed in my world. I'm extraordinarily excited because my guidance had showed me that a lot was going to happen, and it now is happening. I have the privilege and honour of a very special being that is a peace activist on this planet in so many different forms. Joining me today, Manuel Letier. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello Australia, hello Brisbane, hello the world.
We are so blessed to have you, and from the bottom of my heart, I really am so grateful. I really am so grateful that you said yes to joining me on the show, because I feel like that has organically led to some, I feel, divine purpose soul connection being ignited between us. I don't know if you're feeling the same way, but I certainly feel that.
I feel that as soon as we step out of our comfort zone, as soon as we step out of our little couch and little house and we meet each other, that's when the magic happens, whether it's with you, the other people I've met here for the last week, whether it was at that premiere of FAM. It's amazing. Really, things start to happen when you move forward. And I always tell people, it's nice to pray, it's nice to send a message to the universe, it's nice to meditate, but it's not enough. Nothing's going to change until you put that piece in action, in motion. So first step, yes, be good in your mind, be good in your soul, and then shut up and get going and get the work going, because it's all about work. Nothing happens if you're not going to put enough work and time into it. Like we do right now, we isolate ourselves for an hour and we're going to have a nice, inspiring conversation, which hopefully will inspire other people. So we're doing the work. So it's really important for you people out there to realize it's not enough only to listen to us. As soon as that conversation is done, you have to make your own conversation. And your own conversation is about talking, but it's about doing as well. I always say, I think, therefore I am, therefore I do. And I think until now we were not completing the sentence. It was the word of I think, therefore I am, and we were lost in our thoughts and lost in our mind. You have to step up out of your mind. You have to liberate your mind. That's the big challenge of our century, is really what I call the liberation of the mind. I think 19th century and 20th century were geared at liberating the body, abolition of the slavery, physical slavery, but we still have mental slavery. And we see it in many parts of the world, and many culture and religion and political system. The mind is still in jail. So it's time to open our mind cage, step out and see that we are free souls, free spirit. And it doesn't mean it's anarchy. On the contrary, once you're liberated, you just structured a very harmonious, complementary relationship with everybody. We have 7 billion systemic misery, inequalities. It's all about us trying to link, connect, have a healthy relationship, and change the world in oneness.
Absolutely. I love the word activist, because it does really mean that we are taking actual steps and not just talking about it, because I feel, for me, that enlightened conversations, like this particular program that I've created or that was channeled through me, however we want to look at it, I feel like it's about role modelling. Like when you look at a 2-year-old child, for example, they learn from their parents' role modelling, right? So what we're doing, I believe, is a really different way of communicating, a really different way of being in the world, and a really different way of expanding our minds. And when we look at a 2-year-old child, well, you could actually look at the politicians as 2-year-old children a lot of the time, the way they communicate. Do you know what I mean? So the way I'm very passionate about things in action at the moment is definitely this role modelling of being in the world in a different way. I know the other day I said to you that, a closed mind, you cannot keep your heart open when your mind is closed. And to really create change and really create peace, I feel like that's that heart-based intention really coming authentically from here.
Yeah, absolutely. And activism means activate. And so as soon as you engage, you trigger and you activate each other's genius. So it's not even about being worried to be a role model or leader. It's about making sure the flow of life keep going between you and the others. And if you keep the flow of life going, your brain's going to get motivated, your brain's going to get liberated, you're going to do the same with others. And that's how peace grows. It's by activating each other. So, because I strongly believe we are all the healers of each other, and all the saviors of each other, and all the leaders of each other. You know, at all time we are masters and we are students. We all learn from each other. You have something amazing, I've got something amazing. I will never have what you have, and vice versa, but you don't need that. What you need is to keep that genius within, share it, and it will grow and expand and transcend and unite. So it's about that. Activate yourself and you shall activate the others.
It's funny because I've been feeling that more and more lately, is that when I'm having conversations with people, it's like things start to really unlock with people, and it is an activation. I totally 100% resonate with that. I feel it, I see it, and I even experience it myself. Because what happens is that when the other person is activating, like, and you can feel it, you probably see this with a lot of people that you work with as well when they're doing the good work of activism. You get affected in return. So it's like, yes, you might be the catalyst for it, yeah, sure, but in respect of that too, the flow-on effect is amazing. It really lifts me.
Yeah, as soon as you give, you receive. It's instant. Because again, what goes around comes around. So I will always tell people, you know, it's better to give a kiss than a punch. Because as soon as you give a kiss, from some direction, somebody's going to kiss you. As soon as you give a punch, from some direction, you're going to be punched and knocked down. So, you know, do the math. It's much better to be positive and engaging and being a peace activist than an asshole and a selfish bastard, you know. And a lot of people don't get it, you know, because again, it's social conditioning, it's education, it's the monstrosity of our civilization that gave the illusion that the kings are in charge. No, the kings get their head beheaded. That's the morality of history. So you don't want to be one of those. You don't want to be a pharaoh.
Yeah, I call it the good karma boomerang. It's like, you know, when you do something good for the planet or for someone without an agenda, I automatically feel good. I'm not expecting like someone to bring me back something in return, because I really do feel good about it. But what I do find is that, and this has happened repeatedly for me, is that over the course of my life, where I've perhaps been that person who's actually needed the support and people have actually been there for me, they're actually the people that I remember now. And I go, oh, if I've got an opportunity, I'd really like to involve that person because they were a support to me when I really needed it. And it's like this beautiful good karma boomerang or infinity or whatever we want to call it, coming right back to us because we're doing it.
Yeah, and the reason is because you feel good when you do good. It's because we are all born good. You know, evil doesn't exist. Bad doesn't exist. You can have some, what naively people call positive and negative energy, but it's part of the same energy. It's a mood swing. It's the same oneness. So again, we are all born good. You know, there are no little boy or little girls who are born to become a monster. They become a monster because we put monstrosity in their mind. We start manipulating them with religion by age of 2 or 3 and force them to believe in scripture that are themselves manipulated. We force them to hate the neighbors. We put a gun in their hands and tell them to go play and have fun. That's it. We constantly mentally rape and abuse our kids and each other. So that has to stop. And when that stops, then we will have a real peaceful humanity. But it's a lot of work, it's a lot of patience. You know, sadly, there are so many places and culture and religion who don't listen that language of love. You know, they act as if, but they don't, because they can't. They've been manipulated themselves to believe we are the monster and they are the righteous. So it's difficult. It's a slow process. I think we've come a long way, but we still have to go a long way as well. So we have to be vigilant. We have to be responsible, caring, and move forward and always believe in the long term.
Absolutely. And I love that you're a visionary, and I love that, I love the way you came into your filmmaking as well, and that you saw you saw a poem. You were sitting in maths class, weren't you? And you saw a poem and you went, you dreamt it, you dreamt the movie and you made the movie. That's amazing. That's inspiring to me. I love that story.
Well, we all have visions. I mean, again, our mind is connected to that weird mystery of the universe, and whether we hear voices or we get visual flash or we dream or thoughts come in articulating a conversation, we are all visionaries. You know, we are, again, brilliant creatures. We barely use 10% of our brain. So I know we are capable of so much more. And again, sadly, again, society is always trying to keep us down, keep us in our little box. You know, it's horrible. Anytime I meet somebody, I want to figure out what's brilliant about them and how they can find solution for world peace, for cancer, for pandemic, for misery. Everybody has a great idea, and we need more than ever to collaborate and become partners of each other. You know, we have to. You know, the only reason why we have this misery is because it's a consumer-based, you know, system. And right now consumers are dying, mentally dying, physically dying, because we are allowing that. But there is no reason. And so to all the bastards out there, the 1% who are greedy monsters, it's like, guys, I invite you, and it's mainly guys, I invite you to be generous, because generosity creates healthy consumers. Therefore, you wouldn't be just a lame billionaire, because being a billionaire today is lame. There are so many. You want to be trillionaires. You want to go beyond. And for that, you have to create healthy consumers. And so for that, you have to liberate their mind. You have to educate everybody. You have to make sure they have a minimum of access to resources. And it's not only money, because I believe that money is obsolete. You know, more and more it's going to be fair trading. I bake you a cake, you wash my car, I teach your kids, you clean my house, whatever. We don't need money. Money is, again, it's the system of the pharaohs and the king. That we are way beyond that. So let's move forward into the future instead of being locked into the past.
Yeah, I think, you know, for me, that's pure genius. Looking at a person, and instead of looking at all the stuff that could improve, you're looking for how you can unlock, or how you can see, or hold the vision for the fact of their brilliance. I feel that's genius. I feel that's the best leadership ever, because what we're saying is we're all equal. We all have our gifts we all bring here. We're all united. And if we actually were all doing that, we would have a completely different society. And, you know, it's just hands down, we would have a completely different society. Like, just imagine that for a moment about your neighbour, about, you know, the mums or dads at school that you bump into that perhaps you're just looking at what could improve with them. Like, what about changing the goggles and putting another set on and having a look at it a different way? Just invite yourself to do that. Like, it just takes a moment, and it just takes willingness to do that. But you have the power. Like, we are the people, we're the people, and we get to change the world by our vision and what we choose and how we choose to see the world. And I'm a big believer that the universe has our back. Everything that happens is for our highest good, because we are learning something. We are learning something out of every single thing. Nothing that happens, no loss, no tragedy, nothing is wasted. Not if we take the learning out of it. And that is another way of, I guess, taking the goggles off and having a look at life a different way.
Absolutely. You know, Martin Luther King said, I had a dream. Well, it's enough dreaming. It's enough imagining. We've done it. Now it's about acting. It's going to be the edge of putting a reality to this dream, this motion, this in motion. It's about co-creating this peaceful planet we dreamed of from the beginning of time. So I think, and I feel it's happening. It's at the tipping point. There's still the old guard. We see, you know, the old monsters, the Putin, the Trump, the old idiots, thinking that wars is a solution. No, peace is a solution. You know, Gandhi said something very beautiful. There is no way to peace. Peace is the way. And that's it. So stop arguing, drop your weapon, drop your weight. That's nonsense. It goes nowhere. It kills you, it kills your consumers, it kills your partners. That's it. You are creatures of love and peace. So don't deny yourself that existence that you have deep within. Let it out.
Yeah, Absolutely. And I must admit, I'm just excited with the fact that what you've put together so far, that just for those who don't know a bit of your history, that you're born in France, you've gone over to the States 30 years ago, you've been a movie maker, you've done, The Scarecrow, you've done Scarecrow 2, I think there was there was quite a lot of, I can't remember all of them. I've got your bio.
I did a lot of crappy movie. Yeah. But there is always a little bit of philosophy in all my crappy movie. I was always very responsible.
I don't see anything.
Good shit. I do good shit. I do inspiring shit.
Yeah, I think it's great that you've been able to go travel the journey, go into Hollywood, learn all about that world, learn how it can be, and how it can be either disconnected or connected, how it can be really heart-centered or up and down, not constant. And I feel like those are absolutely valuable things that you bring to your work, because now that you're doing humanitarian documentaries, what you're looking for is connection, and what you're looking for, I believe, is consistency. And for me, I'm seeing that throughout your documentaries. The Invocation, where you've got together a whole bunch of people. The first one that you did in 2012 with Dalai Lama, Deepak Chopra, and Edmund Tutu, so many different, hundreds of people.
An amazing woman, Sharon Stone. I will never thank her enough, because without an incredible divine goddess energy of Sharon Stone, I wouldn't be here. I mean, she's a huge force and voice in my life and in the life of these movies. So it's a real co-creative partnership. These movies, it's not about me; it's about we. The we include the I. So I would never say this is directed by Emmanuel Itier. It's directed by we, we the people, we the beautiful souls, the beautiful, gorgeous spirit, re-evolutioning the world and the universe.
It's so true, though. I mean, I believe that these movies, all these projects, anyone who's watching this who has a project or a program or some idea of creating something that will change the world, whatever that may be, it has its own life. What happens is that we kind of give birth to it, perhaps because the idea might come through or drop through, but then it's I believe our social responsibility to then actually join hands with other people and not be, it's my thing. And if someone does it sort of similar to me, then I'm going to distance myself from them. It should be, wow, how exciting. We've got more people doing the same thing. That means that, it's actually raising awareness of the exact thing that I wanted to raise awareness about. And it's also, I believe, strengthening the energy of it as well. Because as we're coming together, you feel it, don't you, Emmanuel? Like when you've got more people on board and things like that, and Sharon, and it's just like, bang, another level.
Absolutely. It's incredible when you dare expands beyond your wildest even dream or imagination. When I studied Invocation, it was just me, the little crazy French guy driving in a car, swaying at the universe, seeing in an instant flash that movie, Invocation. But it's really by joining forces with the Deepak Chopra and the Desmond Tutu and Sharon Stone and Karen Armstrong and a multitude of people, including even music by Annie Lennox. That's when it became something way bigger than the silly idiot that I am, because we are very limited creature at the same time that we are very unlimited creatures. So we have to understand what are our flaws, our limitation, join with other people, and let it be, see what happens, and I saw it with Invocation. I see it with Femme. I see it with, I just finished a movie called Shamanic Trekker that we filmed in Peru during the summer, thanks to an incredible couple, John and Kristen, that I salute right now. And it's funny because, we were people from different horizons, and as soon as we joined forces and made the leap of faith at going together to the Peru, we didn't know each other, but playing the game of life, let it be, be patient, be full of love. Things happen. It's amazing. Nothing happens if you're going to hold it onto yourself. Nothing happens if you're gonna, hold grudges. You have to be at all time giving 100% of yourself and your mind to the universe, because it's, again, quantum physics shows that it's a very complex ensemble of molecules that are permanently connected, permanently moving and creating and exploding. So you want to be part of this existence, of this life. It will nourish you. It will give back.
It will. And it's like this too. It's like we could invite people to ask themselves this question. You want to find yourself, what's the point? So once you've found yourself and you know who you are, what are you going to do with it? What are you actually going to do with that? And how is that actually going to serve the rest of everybody else? Because when you actually realize who you are, which is limitless, and you can do anything, why wouldn't you, when you have that absolutely valuable information, why wouldn't you want to go ahead and do everything you can to ignite that in other people?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not even about finding yourself, because I'm not sure we ever find truly ourselves, because again, ourself is constantly in evolution and in progress. So it's not even about worrying about me. It's about worrying about, why do I do with that? What do I do with these two hands? What do I do with that heart, that mouth, my brain? And so it's really about trying to figure out, and it takes not too much time, to figure out what you really truly love, what you think you're good at. Is it painting? Is it writing? Is it cooking? Is it plumbing? Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's everything is necessary in life anyway. So just figure out what you're good at and do it. And by the doing, it's interesting how it transforms your being. But if you don't do anything, your being definitely is dissolving. So again, just put yourself in motion. And we see it with people who have depression or who say, oh, I've got a weight problem. If they keep being obsessed about who they think they are stuck. But if you invite them to say, you know what, fuck your weight, fuck you broke, your addiction. Let's go and do some sport. Let's go and embark on an adventure. And embarking on an adventure doesn't mean you have to jump on a plane and spend money. You can embark on an adventure by just walking in a direction you've never been to. We all live in a neighborhood, and we never know our neighborhood. It's funny, I live in Santa Barbara for 30 years, and it takes friends from out of town to tell me, hey, you know that restaurant? No. Oh, great, let's go discover it. So it's funny how we are blind even within our own little bubble. But really, as soon as you put your being into motion, into acting, that's when really your being is being transformed. So again, step out of your laziness and fear of not doing. You have to do to be. So it's quite interesting, because before the thought that just I think, and I am. No. It's I do, and you are. So it's very interesting how we transition from one system of thought to another very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. I had the thought the other day, it's more like I am, therefore I think. I am, therefore I do. I am, therefore I feel. I am a spiritual being. What am I going to do about it? What am I going to do with this is far more powerful than just, well, I'm not a really big advocate for just sitting on the mountaintop and meditating and not doing anything with that. I'm a really big advocate for, okay, you've got inner peace. Let's see how you can actually allow yourself to put that in some kind of action and framework in the world. So let's see it. Let's see how you're going to do peace. And so it's interesting that you even use that statement. I think therefore I think that therefore I am is not complete. It's I think therefore I am, therefore I do, because I actually had that, and somehow we're in sync there with actually, the words of action and meaning, giving meaning to it, not just being a big stagnant blob, I think, because a lot of people have so much energy, they have no idea. They've got so much energy streaming through them, right? and then they get to a point where they're not doing anything with it, Emmanuel. And then what happens is they feel pain and they feel sick and they feel very, very heavy. And then they wonder why they're feeling heavy, but it's because they had the energy streaming through them that the inner voice was telling them this is what you need to do, and they didn't do it. So they're the byproduct of that, of course, is the pain, the stuckness, is the frozenness even. Like they'll say, I'm immobile. Like you even use those words, immobile. And I just find that's fascinating, So go back to where you were guided then, guys. And what were you told? What was your body telling you? What was your thoughts? What was it that you knew you had to do and you didn't do it?
Well, yeah, it's about going beyond the limitation again that is put in your mind from the get-going. It's incredible how we are told all our life, you're not good at this, you're not good at that, don't try. Oh my God, are you crazy? That constant, we are bombarded people telling you shouldn't do. Well, it's like, who are you what I should do, I shouldn't do? Who are you to tell me what I should believe or not believe? Who are you, truly? And especially even more than that, what do you do, really, that is of an example and that is admirable? And usually, it's, the people who are trying to preach you are the first one to be really creatures of flaws and sins and weakness. So let's stop judging each other and let's stop preaching each other and let's see what we are capable of doing, because I know we are capable of doing great things. It's just that, again, we are being put in this mind jar from the age of 4 and then that's it. We dissolve, and then we reach age 40 or 50 and we go through midlife crisis, and some of us get into addictive patterns, some of us leave their wife and children, some of us kill ourselves, others, and there are no reason for that other than, we've been creatures, beautiful creatures that were so pushed and so broken and so bented that we snap and we just fall apart and we start acting in a nonsense way. So there is really no reason for that, So we really have to stop the manipulation of each other, the mental rape of each other. That has to stop.
That's brilliant. I love that mental rape thing, because I believe thoughts are realities. People think, just thinking that. No, well, you know what? If you take responsibility, and you can do this easily, really. This is a really easy one. So you're walking along the street, you judge someone. They might be grossly obese, fat, for instance, and you can just think in your head, oh, that's disgusting. And I bet you every single person watching this would have had that thought, okay? So I'm going to challenge it. And I'm going to say, well, how about the next time you see someone walking along the street that's grossly obese, you say to yourself, I thank God I'm alive. I thank God that I'm not grossly obese, or I'm grateful. You don't have to say thank God or what have you. You can just say, I'm really grateful. I feel really grateful. And you can actually, instead of what happened in the previous transaction, which was judging a person, which people don't realize this thought has gone boom, and it's actually really attacked a person. So that creates issues for them. Not only that, but it's also handing your power over, because where attention goes, energy flows. So it's actually handing your power over. So it's like, if you take it back and you feel gratitude, you've just changed not only yourself, because you're actually feeling awesome and grateful, but I believe you've actually then given them an opportunity to step up, because you're not adding to their burden. And I think that that's really real.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. It is changing, I've got a lot of faith in us. I really think we are limitless creatures of ultra performance, mental, physical, and beyond. And it will happen. We just have to keep the work going. You with your show, your books, me with my movies, somebody else with their cooking, their plumbing, whatever. It's interesting how everything is about, complementary. It's about trying to figure out what's complementary with each other and how I can be of service and how you can be of service. So it's all about that, and it's changing. It's getting there, So, people out there who are a little bit depressed and who want to let go, and no, this is not the time. You don't have a choice. On the contrary, you know, just pull yourself together, reach out, you know, reach out to me, reach out to Michelle, reach out. There's always somebody you can reach out to. Even when you think you are totally abandoned, lost, this is it, this is the end of the road, that's not true. There's always a new road, a new path. You just have to look in a different direction. And I've been there, we all been there, you've been there. And it's easier, obviously, to say than to do. But you have to spank your own mind and your own butt and then force yourself to do it. You know, whatever last little glimpse of energy you have within you, it's a look in a different direction, up, down, left, right. You know, there's always an exit door to a new path. So never think your corner, never think this is ending. It's never ending. You know, Einstein and others have always had this concept that nothing is created, nothing is destroyed, everything is transforming. And we see it. It's all about transformation. You know, we know we are energy, and right now this energy is stuck into this mad Frenchman, and then it will serve the universe in one form or another, you know, and then you can believe that the energy has a spirit or a mind of its own or not. I really think we are just energies melting together. And for me, that's God, that's existence. I don't think it has a mind, but that's my belief, and it's okay. And if you have another one, it's okay too. I mean, the point is, again, you're just here for a little amount of time, very small. So when you're here, just do as good as you can. Just do as good as you can. So stop worrying too much. Stop thinking sorry too much about yourself. Stop whining, you know, enough. Just step out of this mind gel. It's you, it's your ego playing trick to you. You're fine, you're beautiful, you're great. So just show it to the people how good you are, how great you are, how beautiful you are. Shine.
Okay. I'm so cheeky. No, but I love it. Those are beautiful words, and I'm soaking them in, and they're food, and I love that, and I bless you for that. That's just gorgeous. And I feel that, you know, I guess if someone had said to me, you know what, you can fast track to out of this energy that's really quite heavy into a different, you know, frequency just by simply calling on it, like call in some peace, you know, or call in some love, call it in, call in that energy. I mean, I'm a big energy person too, Emmanuel. That's primarily how I operate. It's really like not to judge the lower vibrations at all, because they're serving us to feel, oh, I feel disconnected. Okay, better do something about that. Or, oh, I feel depressed. Or, oh, I feel suicidal. Okay, well, hey, it's providing attention to what I can, you know, what I can actually be doing differently. So it's rather than judging the journey, I think that's just futile. I think, no, they all serve a purpose. All those aspects of our psyche serve a purpose, and in everyone else as well. And it's really none of our business how other people access their enlightenment and their lessons and their journey. It's really none of our business. I mean, they've got their own, you know, they've got their own path and their own, it's all important. And if we sit back and judge it all, we're just wasting our sweet time. So I'm with you. It's about validating your journey as precious, no matter how ugly it may look, because a lot of light workers that I've worked with is just like, oh my God, if you only knew my past, or you shouldn't know. So actually, you guys are probably the ones that got popped out into enlightenment because you got that dark crap and you went through it. So you got it. So yeah, I'm with you. I feel like there's a real opportunity for people to stop judging themselves and stop judging their journey, and really believe that that's just part of it, and that you're on your way, whether you like it or not. Everybody is on their way to a more higher vibrational frequency. And you know, it just depends on how quickly you want to get there sometimes, but that's up to us and our free will, because I'm a big believer in free will.
Absolutely. Where there's a will, there's a way, you know, right there. So we all have a will, you know. Again, our will is being broken every day by people with a silly agenda. And again, silly agenda, because if the agenda out there is to control another human being and turn it into a slave, well, you have to explain me how you can keep your status of being privileged if at the end of the day you have an army of zombies who don't know what to do with their life. You end up with chaos. That's the beginning of anarchy. And that's what we are seeing happening right now. The rise of poverty is intolerable right now. In the US, for example, we have, roughly one family out of 4 or 5 people living with less than $25,000 a year. That's not tolerable. That's not possible. And it's the same in France. I'm sure in Australia there is an extreme poverty as well. There is no reason for that other than the silly, naive, stupid agenda of some people who think, it's okay. No, it's not, because these are people who could be healthy consumers and, again, make you even richer. So, and as a human being, again, how can you tolerate seeing another human being dying? That's intolerable. I travel all over the world, and when I go to South Africa or India or China, and I see little boys the age of my kids who are 2, 4, and 11, and they are begging, and they have one leg out, and they have one eye pumped. I cry all the time. Aren't you tired of dying? Aren't you tired of crying and being broke? Isn't it enough? So if it's enough, like you and I feel it's enough, just join forces and act and be the change you want to see in the world. You always want to see a change in the world. You always want to be in a peaceful environment, because that's how you sleep better. How can you sleep when other people are dying? That's not possible. What type of monster are you to let it be? Especially knowing that you can change it. If there were no solution, I would say, okay, fine. Oh, stupid fate. Being alive is stupid. But it's not. It's full of solution. It's full of abundance. People say, we are too many on planet Earth. We have to disseminate half of the population to be happy. I'm like, what type of idiot are you? Really? Have you seen the planet? Or vast it is? Or rich it is? Or the problem is bad management of the planet. It's bad management of each other. That's it. It's management. It's sharing the resources, the richness. It's not the numbers. That's absolutely not. We are focusing on trying to populate another planet. What a waste of time and money. Fine, populate and spread the wealth on this planet, idiot. Don't look where the grass is greener, as they say. It's plenty green here. So cherish that, protect that, enrich that, nourish that, nurture that. But again, these are the words that were not put in the mind of little boys mainly, and some little girls. So after, these boys grow up to be monsters of greed and exploration and conquest. That's enough. I'm done with your conquest. I'm done with your exploring, with your dominance. It's enough. It's all about love. That's it. I love you. That's it.
Yeah, and I got that message so loud and clear when I watched the movie Femme, Women Healing the World, and talking about how as we move away from that control and that dictatorship and that energy of what is very polarized in terms of a masculine energy, and we're moving more into a society where men and women are actually stepping more into that heart space, that connection, that unity consciousness that we absolutely love. That's going to give, I believe, that filters upwards to leaders. And so the leaders that aren't resonating on that level will filter out. And so if they are actually clever, if they're actually as clever as they really think they are, then they would see that happening and go, holy crap, I better change my tactics here, because I'm not going to last very long if I don't. Because it's happening whether we know, and I see it, we see activation all the time. Just because it's not the norm, like right now, doesn't mean it's not going to be the norm in 2, 3, maybe even 5 years' time. And the younger generation come through, and you've got the change in ages, where you've got perhaps some people that have maybe more narrow minds passing away, coming back through. You've got the younger generation coming in, and they're actually enlivening the planet with a lot more unity consciousness a lot of the time. I think it's inevitable. And so
what's horrible is that the norm was, I love you. And sadly, 3,000 years ago, when men started to control everything from horses to agriculture to each other, the word became not I love you, but I kill you. So the norm from love was transformed in a norm for hate and death, from life to death. And it's not in you guys. It's not in you ladies. The norm is I love you. It's not I kill you. That was put in your mind and soul only for the last 3,000 years. you know, and it's a God of love. It's not a God of death, because God or love is about creation. The rest kills. The rest put you in the void. So just find back your inner common sense. I think what's missing is that for the last 3,000 years is a common sense. And it's also listening to the basic rule. So if you are into religion and scripture, well, look at your damn 10 commandments. Look at that God is all and all is God. And right there in that sentence, you cannot judge somebody else. You cannot preach somebody else, because all is God and God is all. So whether you're a Muslim, an atheist, a Satanist, a guy from the Church of Scientology, a Christian, or nobody, somebody like me who's a punk, wondering how that works, it doesn't matter, because it's all. So God is all and all is God. So why is the argument there? You know, and it's all about love. So why are we killing each other? We are just dumb, stupid creature of ego, and we develop a God complex in the wrong sense of the word. Well, if we have a God complex, like I have, it's about saving everybody, not saving my own ass. It's saving the we, because the we include I and my family. But the I never is going to protect everybody else. And if everybody else is not protected, sooner or later, somebody's going to come and behead my head. It's that simple. So it's really a change of focus and going back to the original common sense, the original love, the source of it all. We are it.
Yeah.
The God and the goddess.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm excited too, like to be on board for associate producer of the Oneness Collective. That's exciting. So that's 5 movies.
Yes, thank you for that. And I invite everybody to do like you and find us on the GoFundMe campaign or email me. And because sadly, we are living in a material world, so we need a lot of money to keep going. And it's not easy because, you know, the way people consume has changed with the internet. And so they always think that all these movies are up for grab and for free, which I don't mind. It's fine. I give them every day, but sadly, I need to make a living and feed my family of 5. So yes, please support us. Campaign or email me or find us on the internet. You type my name and you will find me. But yeah, well, now we have built really a collection, a series called the Oneness Collection. And it started really with a deep study of our mind, our soul, the invocation, which is an exploration of the notion of God around the world, from quantum physics to religion, energy, Deepak Chopra, Dalai Lama, Desmond Tutu, then FEM, which is currently out, and thank you again, Kelly Kingston and Inspired Living event, and Jamie Herbert, because they put together an amazing event and evening. So I really encourage everybody to find Inspired Living events. Man, it's good. And they're having another screening on February 11th. So it's an amazing group of people, and we have to support them and love them. And so in our case, yes, we pursue our collection of inspiring movie. We are doing one, and you're part of it as well as a speaker. It's called The Cure, Healing the Mind, Healing the Body. More than ever, super important. Then we are finishing another movie called We, the People, a re-evolution of economic and politics. Because I really think, again, we're going to step up into a new dimension where it's not all about money, but it's about love, and services and caring and fair trade. Something politically, you know, politic comes from a word that means politis. And politis is a deep engagement in each other. You know, it's serving with the people. And do we have politicians right now? No. From Mr. Trump, freshly elected, master billionaire, to the Putin, to anybody, they are all like wicked crooks to me. They are mafias, little mafias, you know. It's enough. We don't have politicians. So I always, you know, when people say, hey, what can I do? I say, you know what? Run for office. You know, whether it's with your church, with your school, with your Rotary group, you know, I'm part of the Rotary International. It's get involved, run for office, seize the power. There is no power to seize, there is a power to share. But that's it. It's don't be passive. Don't wait to be manipulated and led by obscure monsters who have an agenda. And usually it's a bad agenda, it's to kill you. So stop it, you know, take over. And it will happen again. It's going to take time. We see it. The old guard, the old 70-year-old dinosaurs are still trying to control this planet. Hey, guys, retire, you're done. That's it. You can control 6 billion people. You're not even 100,000 of you. So that's it. Mathematically, you're gone. So let it go. That's fine. Retire with a nice cocktail and a headline. Let us run it. But that's what we do. We are empowering people, men and women. This is not a feminist movement. It's a humanist movement. And we always engage everybody to join forces and share and join the wagon. So check it out. Oh, I lost the sound for some reason. I think you mute yourself.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
There we go.
I did. I had a little bit of noise in the background here, and I did mute myself. Thank you so much. Basically, I feel it's really exciting as well that you've got yourself involved with another movie you're actually in. You're actually appearing in, which I think is awesome, because I feel like you need to be acknowledged as well for what you're saying and have a voice. I know it's great to be behind, and doing it and have that vision, but also you've got a great voice, and I'm so glad that you've come on the show because your voice needs to be heard as well. You're very passionate, and this movie I'm excited about. I haven't seen it, but I'm really looking forward to seeing it. And I'm actually going to be attending Inspired Living event on the Q&A panel for this particular movie in May that it's coming out in Australia. So it's new Earth, new human, new humanity.
Absolutely, it's done by an amazing Canadian, Lena Marconi, who I salute, and I really bless her. She's an amazing soul. And I was lucky enough to be one of the guest speakers in it. So, and I enjoy that, even so, a director is always the man in the shadows. It's fine for me to be in the limelight. The point of being in the limelight, if you have a tendency to start listening to your own voice and thinking that you're it. And so it's very dangerous. So I think like all of us, we are the first victim of our own stupidity and ego. So we have to be very careful about that, and I think that's what I invite people to do all the time. It's like, be in the forefront, be in the background, forefront, background, don't, again, transcend yourself constantly. A lot of people tell me, what's your ritual? What's your faith? What's your meditation? And I say, I don't have a one, I've got them all. I constantly try new stuff. I constantly move forward because I realize as soon as my brain gets in that comfort zone of repeating the same thing, redoing the same thing, I fall asleep, and that's when it's becoming dangerous because you start believing in your own shit. And believe me, whatever I say today, tomorrow would be obsolete. So again, and it's a motivation. That's why you have to believe we always progress and evolve. Because again, what is being said today will be ridiculous if you listen to us 10 years from now, so keep going and keep rocking.
Yeah, we're all evolving and we're all infinite beings. And when we start to hold on to dogma about how things should be, I mean, even in the world as well, that's when we start to, I think we start to create problems. We get in our own way. But if we allow things to actually unfold and then work towards what we feel that we feel is resonating with us, that's when we start to create solutions. And people actually say to me, they say, Michelle, how could you think that there's unity consciousness? What would that look like? How would that be? How, there's how? Well, I'll tell you how. Because when we actually step into a high vibrational frequency, those answers drop right in that we couldn't think our way to. And we give ourselves an opportunity to actually allow that unfolding of the truth rather than trying to force it and make it happen and try and control. And this is what the universe, the earth should be, and this flower should remain non-extinct, and that animal should, where we end this God complex in controlling the planet. So I feel like, I'm with you. I feel like there's real opportunities here for us to get out of the mind jail. I like that. Get out of the mind jail, lower vibrational thinking, the dogma, the judgment, kick that butt and just say, thanks for serving me, but don't need you anymore. I'm just going to step in and I'm going to walk the path that really helps to empower all of us and really believe in the we instead of just the me. When I first started the show, Emmanuel, that's what I was saying. I was saying it's not about me, it's about we. And that's why I'm doing it like less into an interview style, more into a real conversation, because it's an equalizer. It's like, no, I'm not the, even though you're my guest technically, but it's not it doesn't feel like that. Like, you know what I mean?
No, because we are the guests of each other. You know, it's one humanity. On this planet, we are the guests of each other. So we have to honor that. We have to honor, you know, the Indians always say namaste, which means I honor the divine in you, and vice versa. That's what we have to remember, that if you are divine, I am divine, and vice versa. If you are sad, I am sad. If you're happy, I am happy. So because of that, we have to be very careful and very responsible, caring of each other and loving of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm really excited for what is coming next, because I feel like, you know, lots of things are opening up, and you mentioned Lana, and I've gotten in touch with her, so I'll have her on the show. I think that'll be lovely. She's got some really great stuff, I think. And I'm feeling that, you know, when we step up and we just say yes, like I have, and even the synchronistic events and how we met, and how you just, you know, like you said to me, I remember meeting you on Friday night, which was 3 nights ago. And you know, you said to me that you step into surrender, and that's how you do business, and that's how I do business. I do business on surrender and connection. So I feel like when I meet someone, if it feels like we are really in the flow of what we're meant to, where this energy is heading, then I say yes to it. And I don't need to know actually how it's going to unfold to know that it's a big yes. And I think that's a nice one.
Absolutely. And, you know, there is another word that we should consider totally obsolete. It's a word no. No doesn't exist, you know, because even if you say no, it happens. So stop saying no, like a baby, you know, because you're scared. That's enough. It's all about yes, but. Okay, yes, I'm listening to you. Oh, okay, can we talk? So it's yes, but. Everything in life is yes, but. When you say yes, things keep going. And you find a compromise, and you find a healthy relationship. If you say no, you kill again. So stop saying no, stop saying I kill you, start saying yes, I love you.
Yeah, well, we love you, and thank you for saying yes to coming to Australia, and also thank you for saying yes to giving Inspired Living Events the exclusive, you know, opportunity to play all your movies.
Spread peace and love. To spread peace and love. Absolutely.
So awesome. And just so exciting. And I just want to thank you so much for bringing your presence to my show again, because I'm very grateful that we're able to role model and enlighten conversation. How we want conversations to be, that inclusive, non-judgmental, connected, loving, you know, inspiring, and truthful and honest, and that incorporate all our parts, all our bits, the parts of us that are frustrated, the parts of us that are, you know, visionary and are able to see where this can go, and to have them all on show to show people that it is actually possible not to blame and shame and get into the lower vibrational frequencies of conversation. And I just think that it's absolutely, like, we do it naturally, but there are so many people that just don't. They just don't do this.
Yeah, and that's why we have to care for them. We have to help them. You know, it's all about caring. It's all about being humble and realizing the suffering out there, we can heal it. You know, you can do everything you want in life. Again, there is no reason for pain. You know, I'm a strong believer of the opposite of no pain, no gain. I don't believe in pain. Pain is unnecessary. It's all about love. It's all about yes. So explode with love, explode with joy, you know, be an explosion of existence, and life will be.
Beautiful. I think that is a beautiful way to finish our conversation. So thank you again. Peace and love. And we will see you in Australia, I am sure, very soon.
Sounds good. Love you, Australia. Love you, everybody. Take good care. Bye-bye.